How's it going, guys? Bring your platoon here, and welcome back to another great game in World of Tanks, Xbox One Edition. Today I'm going to be playing the Tier 7 German Premium Tank Destroyer, the Krupp-Steyr Waffenträger. And if I butchered that name, I apologize. But moving on to these tank stats, if you like the Borsig, for the Tier 8 Borsig in the German Tank Destroyer tech tree, you're going to love this tank. It's got a little less DPM than the Tier 8 premium Jagdtiger 8.8. Instead of firing every 4 seconds, you fire around every 6. With the current loadout that I have, that is obviously going to be a very stereotypical Borsig setup, a Camonet, Binox, as well as a gun rammer. Because as for the aim time, well, you're not going to need anything better, because it is in fact 1.9 seconds for the aim time. The dispersion is 0.31. It says 0.33 on tanks.gg, but I do believe that console players get 0.31 accuracy, which is just fucking bonkers. It's your standard 8.8 German damage for 240 alpha on every shot. 203 average penetration for your standard AP rounds, with 237 premium pen for your APCR rounds. Your high explosive rounds get 44 millimeters of average penetration, with 295 damage on average instead of 240, so it's not really worth firing them that much. So yeah, just stick to the AP as well as the APCR. If you want to take a little bit more APCR, just because this standard pen is... It's enough to get by, but when you're facing Tier 9s, because yes, this thing does face Tier 9s, it doesn't have preferential matchmaking like the Tier 8 Jagdtiger 8.8, but it does have phenomenal camo values like the Borsig or the Tier 9. Well, I guess the Tier 9 doesn't have great camo, but better view range, so it makes up for it. But moving on. Okay, so you know the gun stats. The view range on this thing is pretty disappointing, 360 meters view range. And the only reason I bought this thing is because it was quote-unquote 50% off. Which, by the way, when you get those offers, be sure to look at the original cost of the tank, because I've noticed a lot of these quote-unquote offers of 50% off aren't really 50% off. They're more like 35 to 40% off. So just be weary of that. Thanks, Wargaming. Idiots. So yeah, view range is 360 meters, not that great, but again, your camo and obscenely long view range, if you have a decent crew on this thing, will make up for that, and you won't have to worry about not spotting any enemies before they spot you, because they're going to have to get hella close if they want to spot you. But unfortunately, the DPM is only just below 2100, so that's pretty mediocre, to be honest. The gun elevation is 45 degrees. It's practically an anti-air tank. But moving on, gun depression is 8 degrees. You have these little plates in the front of your tank that make it go up to what? Yeah, they force the gun to go to only 2 degrees, and that's in the front of the tank, so it's really not that big of a deal, but it is worth noting. But other than that, all the way around the tank, besides those 2 points, is 8 degrees. So not bad for gun depression. Fire chance is 28%, so 1 out of every 5 shots will set you on fire. Be sure to put preventative maintenance as well as firefighting on your crew, just to get that down as much as possible, as well as a premium fire extinguisher, or... yeah, you're going to want a fire extinguisher on this thing. Let's just say that. But your top speed is 35 kilometers an hour, not very fast. If you're used to playing the Borsig, you'll be used to that. Reverse speed is 15 kilometers an hour, again, not very fast. Your horsepower is 220. I haven't really noticed any bad traverse, so I'm not really going to note that, because it is decent. It doesn't have a good horsepower engine, so if you keep that in mind, you'll know what to expect as you're like turning the tank stationary versus being mobile with it. But as you can see, I'm just trying to like whittle these people down in health, because obviously something that has this much camo, its worst enemy is going to be light tanks and artillery, which their artillery was already taken out. Good on them. I know I can pen this jumbo very easily frontally, even if And if I bounce off with standard rounds, I can just load an extra 30 points of skill and pen him with APCR. No big deal. But yeah, I get spotted here. I instantaneously just start moving backwards because I do not want them to hit me. Considering that I only have, oh yeah, that's another thing I should have mentioned, 800 hit points. So I track and damage him. Reloading, 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 reloading. I do get pen there. That's unfortunate. And then he dies. That was kind of bad getting pen there. I lost 50% of my health because... Or did I? A little bit less than 50% of my health because they nerfed that thing's alpha down to 360, I think. Because it's premium French light tank or whatever. It's like a toned down version of the tier 10, but it's a tier 8. Yeah, okay. Makes sense to me, right? Wargaming? Yeah, sure it does. I'm just doing my very damnedest to kill these people as fast as possible, but without giving away my position, because I know as soon as I start blind firing, I'm pretty screwed, because my team, well, spoiler alert, it's going to be a loss, but not without me getting an exuberant, am I using that term right, amount of damage before I die. So with the last of my AP shells here, I'm going to put another one right into the jumbo. Just narrowly avoid killing him there. Come on, RNG. Wish you could have gave me a better roll than that. There we go. Finishing him off for 12 damage. I can use this in-between cover of these two houses to not only hide from the other jumbo that I'm targeting, but also put a few sneaky shots into him. And oh look! An almost full health ISM, as well as a absolutely full health P-44 Pantera. Great! How am I going to pull this one off? Oh, that's right, I don't. Because he's full health. Jesus Christ. Lucky him. Must be nice. I bet he had a great game. Well, let's find out in the end game stats. Just remember, I put a fucking blind shot into him. Oh, as for the IS-2M, I mean. Kind of just tracing where his tank was going to go and just kind of guesstimated. So I know as soon as I fire, I'm probably going to get detected. Or I'm going to bounce right off the front of his tank instead of going through the fucking track like I wanted. I want this guy dead. I just decide to take the shot and then instantly repair it. Yeah, there you go. I'm undetected again, and all that I have now is the arty. I will admit that the arty in my game absolutely helps me out here, but just it's not enough. There's just too much to deal with. But you'll see him save my ass here, I do believe. I think he dicks right on the ISM too. Pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly. But I know they're all coming for me. The P-44 Pantera is, again, full health and has very good mobility. So my thinking is, if I can just get like the high ground, I can maybe make a difference and put a few shells in before I die. Or turn the game around, but that doesn't happen. Instead, I almost get dicked on by my own stupidity and take fall damage there. The arty absolutely destroys the ISM's HP for me to put a one hit into him, or putting him down to a one hit, enabling me to finish him off there. English. So, yeah, now that I'm in this dip that I forced myself in, I go up and I'm like, oh look, there's a tank, and what happens? I get a final shot off and he finishes me off via ram. So, that's pretty cool. Good for him. Our arty narrowly avoids missing him, and I do believe this is the end of the game, so it's not even worth skipping ahead, because I do believe he gets spotted like, yep, right there, okay. I'm gonna put another shot into him. You got the reload time? No, of course you're gonna die. But that's the game. If you can manage to get, what is it, 3-marking this thing? I think it's something really mediocre, like 2100 damage a game on average to 3-mark this thing, the Krupp-Steyr Waffenträger, but I could be wrong. Let's just make sure. The Krupp-Steyr Waffenträger, yep, okay, 2200 on average. It's 2185, but let's just round it up. So that's really all you need to 3-mark this thing. I did double that damage and then some, a whole whopping 5,500 damage combined in this thing. Maybe I'm rounding the base damage too much. Click on yourself, Justin. Do it. Oh, yeah, okay. 5,500 damage combined. Hilarious. With a Devastator medal, Ace Tanker, of course, and some others. But, yeah. You hide in the back, you snipe, and then when things get too hairy, you relocate yourself. Because you can do that, even in front of people, because your camo rating is so high. But, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.